Hello Venturers! So your challenge for camp is to cook over fire, and this is probably what you're picturing. You know, s'mores, hot dogs, smokies, but you can do so much more with a fire. So, earlier I had Scouter Malcolm prepare this for me. This is a Swedish fire log, otherwise known as a Canadian candle. And as you can see, it has a very lovely flat top and a number of cuts into the log. So with this, we can actually cook with pots and pans quite easily. Because once it's going, voila, we put our frying pan over top and away we go. However, unless you're a certain pyromaniac that we all know, you may not have access to someone with a chainsaw who can make these cuts for you. And unless you have Scoutcraft level 9, you will not have permission to use a chainsaw yourself. So, what can you do if you want to cook like this? Well, we do have an option, and that is kind of a fake Canadian candle, Swedish fire log. And what I have done is I've taken two coat hangers, metal coat hangers. You cannot use string for this, you need to use metal. And I have wrapped wood that is dry and upright with some space in between it. And I'm going to give this a try. We'll see if we can get this to work. The idea is that the fire burns down, so this is not like our traditional fire where we build it up from below. I don't want to use any accelerants to start this fire. Excuse me, no Scout juice, no diesel, nothing like that. Because anything I want to cook on, I don't want to have any extra chemicals kicking around. So, I have a nice pile of brush that I have to deal with. It's very pokey. I'm going to start using that as my kindling and feeding my fire, and it should start to fall down and the fire will catch, and I will be able to put a frying pan on top and cook. Let's give it a try. As you can see, I'm using my favorite kindling or tinder, lint. Oh, I think it works grand. And so we'll give this a try, and we will come back to it, and we will see how our Canadian candle or Swedish fire log is doing, and if we indeed can cook on it. And as you can see, our little fire is burning. This is about 2 minutes in, and the wood is caught. Now, the only thing that's going to keep me adding kindling is I have a whole bunch of dead rose bushes that I really need to deal with and take care of. So I will add a little bit more on, and in a few minutes, we'll be able to cook. So we're about 5 minutes in now, maybe 7. And as you can see, the fire is burning quite nicely, and that center is starting to hollow out. Even though I have a whole lot of rose bushes that I need to burn, at this point I don't need to do it. I'm gonna let it go for a little bit, and then we'll do a little cooking. All right, time to do a little cooking. I thought I was gonna do bacon and eggs, but it turns out the bacon was still frozen, so I'm just gonna do eggs. Now, my real Swedish fire log is a little different. It's a little bit more sturdy and a little bit more stable. Ideally, that's what you would be using. Please get your parents' permission before you use their pots and pans. This one
is meant for this.
Is meant for this job. Okay.
Don't use Teflon.
No, don't use Teflon. And if you are using something like a stainless steel camp pot, I would suggest that what you do is you wipe liquid dish soap around the outside of your pot, and what will happen is the soot will stick to the soap and it will not stick to the pot, and you will be able to wash it. Old Girl Guide trick. I try to teach that to all my scouts. I may have missed a few of you guys along the way. Now this is going to be a really hot fire really quickly.
That's good egg weather.
Let's see if we can cook an egg. There we go, and our egg is going to start cooking.
Bet you that's really hot, isn't it?
That is not yet.
Oh,
It
okay.
will be shortly, you're right. All right.
That's hot.
That side's hot. And I'm going to have a lovely,
Medium rare egg.
well, I'm going to turn it over at some point. I like mine over easy. Now, question, why aren't I doing this on Saturday? I will be, but for me to do this in advance and get it to you, I thought I had better do it now, before the skies open up and we get the torrential rain that has been forecast. Notice, and now my pot is hot. Protective gear. Ooh, she's gonna be a nice egg. So, have fun cooking. I'm going to show you a couple other alternatives, but this is a very simple way of doing it, and you don't need to have extra griddles or anything like that. And you get a nice campfire afterwards. And now that Scouter Malcolm has some eggs for his dinner, I can roast marshmallows when this fire dies down a little bit. Hello, Venturers. Up and at 'em, time for breakfast. Your challenge today is to cook over fire. So some of you may not be able to use a campfire for your cooking, but you may be able to use a gas barbecue. Looking forward to seeing what you guys make. All right, now I couldn't see if you saw that. Oh yeah, maybe you can, but there is of course a traditional way of cooking with fire indoors that you may enjoy at New Year's. Alex and I are going to enjoy it for our dinner tonight, and that is the fondue, the cheese fondue. Of course, there's also chocolate fondue, but that comes for dessert. That's later. And as I mentioned, Venturers, there's one last way that I've come up with cooking over fire, and that is dessert fondue, which is, in this case, half a cup of chocolate chips with half a cup of hot cream poured over top of, stirred, over a flame, yep, that's a candle, and then served with dippers such as pound cake, bananas, cherries, if you have strawberries. Delicious. Sure to impress a date. Enjoy cooking with fire, and we have a few from the vaults for you to enjoy looking at also. Enjoy the trip down memory lane.